What's up, nerds? It's Corey, and I'm pleased to announce we're giving away 2 codes for Sekiro Shadows Die Twice for PlayStation 4. One for our YouTube subscribers and one for our audio listeners. The rules are simple. For YouTube, all you have to do is subscribe to our channel, screenshot your subscription, and send it to ngrradiopodcast@gmail.com along with your name, PSN ID, and why you're a fan. For our audio listeners, we'd like you to go to whatever podcast service you listen to us on, preferably iTunes, but anything works. Rate us, comment on your rating and why you're a fan, then screenshot your review and rating, and email us at ngrradiopodcast@gmail.com. This contest is for new and existing fans, so get your entries in now. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice is out March 22nd, so the winner will be announced on March 18th's live episode. Join us on youtube.com/ngrradio at 8:45 p.m. Eastern Time if you want to find out who won or check the following week's podcast. Thank you so much for your support. Now on with the show.
Bruce, what are you playing? Anything?
Platinum Livelock started up Neverwinter again as I wait for Division 2. Played some of the open beta. Had some new content versus the closed beta, which was pretty cool.
I played that with you on Saturday.
Yeah, enjoyed it. That was a good time. And then
we played with Lee and Becky.
Yes, we did. And then I jumped into a game called Omega Strike, which is by the same people the same dude that did another game called Daggerhood, which I highly recommend checking out. Daggerhood. So it's like a 2D side-scrolling platformer, and you're a thief, and you throw your knife, and you could use it to teleport to get around like the platforming and whatnot. So it's actually pretty cool.
Oh, I saw that. It's pretty cool. It almost looks like looks like Celeste.
Yeah.
Find Jason Marshall's review on ngrradio.com.
Yeah. I mean, if you get it on PS4 and Vita, the trophy lists are separate, so you can get to 2
platinums in an hour.
It's cross-play, it's cross-buy, so you only need to play like 12 levels to get the platinum, and there's like 100 in the game, and so like it gets crazy as you start moving through the levels. So I got Omega Strike because I bought Daggerhood and liked Daggerhood, and Omega Strike's pretty cool. So it's like a 2D side scroller shooting Metroidvania. You got like 3 characters. One dude's got an assault rifle. One dude's got a grenade launcher, and the other guy's got a shotgun, and they all have like a special power. So yeah, and you can like hit your triangle button to like swap the other character in when you need them. So it's actually pretty cool. It's a lot of fun. Looks like straightforward plat, which should be awesome. I'm hoping to have that, like in the next couple weeks.
Cool.
Yeah, and Ape Out. So I bought Ape Out on Friday. Was gonna try it. Was trying to play it all weekend. Just didn't get a chance, and so I played it at lunch today, and it is awesome. It's really, really good. The graphical style is awesome. The gameplay is cool. I am not as in love with the soundtrack as I thought I would be, because I don't know, it moves to how the action that's going in the game. So if you're doing a little bit of backtracking to try and figure out where the hell you have to go, obviously you just go from the left side of the screen to the right side of the screen. But if you're looking for whatever,
it's also like a maze. So
yeah, so it's like a maze. So if you're moving around, it's kind of like a slow drumming, and I'm just kind of this is almost kind of annoying to me a little bit. So I don't know. When I first bought it, I was like, oh, that's gonna be cool because it the intensity increases as the gameplay intensity increases. But I'm just kind of I don't know. So
does it do that the same way that Luminous did it?
I've never played Luminous, so. Okay. I just know, as you start doing the action where you start beating the guards and killing them and stuff, the drumming starts picking up, and the bass picks up and stuff like that. So it gets a little bit louder, a little bit more pop, faster, and then it just really slows down. So I don't know. I still want to. The jury's still out on it, but I mean, I thought I would like a little bit more. But the game I really enjoy. The graphical style is awesome. They're the maps are increasingly getting not, I don't want to say tougher. You learn as you go, and you learn to use the environment to block the guards from seeing you so they don't shoot you. And then so it's it's moving at it's got a good learning curve, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
So,
I saw it earlier. It looked really fun.
yeah.
I also forgot to mention earlier. I jumped back into Anthem. I'm not going to kick this corpse too many more times. It's just I really like the way it plays, so I keep wanting to play it. Is the problem, and because I think it plays great, it's so much fun to just fly around, and then when you start playing it is when all of the stuff comes back. But I think that game will be really good eventually. I think they've invested a lot of money in it. It's one of their premier studios, and I do think that game's going to be really good in a couple months, maybe a year. Doesn't excuse the state it's in now, but I still like playing it, just doing free play for a little bit. And but it's frustrating because I like playing it. You know what I mean? Like, because you like the game, you want more from it. But so I did play that as well. I forgot to mention that earlier.
Yeah, my son is just beat the campaign, and he is in love with that game. He complains about it a lot, but and I tell him just watching it, and I'm going to play it eventually. I just get vibes from Mass Effect's combat. Like the one move where you see a guy come across the stage, and you're basically you rush, and it was one of those rush moves that from the biotic powers from Mass Effect that I absolutely love. So I keep telling my son, you don't remember Destiny 1. He played Destiny 2 a lot. You don't remember how bad Destiny 1 was at first for all of the. I'm like, and it feels like, because it's like, oh, back in my day when I played Destiny 1, son,
It's a great comparison. It's absolutely true.
We forget.
Yeah.
We forget how games start typically.
Well, Division
or sometimes
1,
we don't remember how bad they were at the beginning, and then how good they get. It's like the Division 1. Division 1, people are like, Division 2 is going to be awesome. Like, there was no problems with Division 1, meaning it was just a bunch of guys with hoodies, but they got more powerful if they put on a heavier hoodie, and they could take more damage, right?
Yeah, no one remembers that when Division 1 came out. They're like, "Oh, I'm hitting headshots, but these guys aren't dying. Why is that?" And then
I remember that.
You have to explain. This is kind of like an RPG where none of that shit actually matters.
Yeah.
I mean,
although I will give
Division.
Division gets kind of a pass because I think in all my years of video games, it has the single best headshot sound I've ever heard.
Yeah,
it's so satisfying. That squishy. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah,
it's so weird, but I love it. It sounds
that little.
Yeah, it's the best.
Yeah, it is satisfying. Like when you're just like,
it is
in the back with like your sniper rifle, and you take like 2 shots at them, and it whittles their health down, and the last shot's just like, and you're just like, yes.
It's like popping bubble wrap. It's just so satisfying.
Yeah, it is.
Like dopamine. Here we go.
I predict that will be when in your end of year categories, best headshot sound.
Well, I mean, from what I played in the Division 2, like it's still there and it's still good. It's still good.
I really like Division 2 so far, man.
I love Division 2. The only issue I have is like they've kind of like took away the regular crosshairs being on the screen with the sniper rifle. So like if you have a 12 times zoom, like in Division 1, you could still just like aim with the L stick with the L2, and you'd still have just the regular crosshairs, and then you hit the L3 button to zoom in to use the zoom. Now in Division 2, if you have a 12 times zoom on, you're automatically zoomed in. Like there's no like mid-range stuff. So they kind of like, I don't think I'm going to be using sniper rifles at all in Division 2, but.
I like having an assault and then like say like a shotgun for close up, but there was also like a light machine gun that had like 100-round clip on it. I liked that one too.
Yeah, the M60 is pretty nice. That's the one I'm running around with now.
It's super satisfying. I'm curious to try it. It's actually pretty cheap. I don't know if it still is. It was cheap up here anyways on PS4, so I pre-ordered it for PS4. And because it was almost $25 off.
Nice.
Normally games here are $79.99, and Amazon had it for $54.99, I think.
Oh, nice.
So I just pre-ordered it, and we'll see. And because I've only played it so far on PC, but I'm curious to see how it plays. I've tried it a little bit with the controller on PC here, and it plays that game plays good with the controller, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think if it if it just picks up doing what Division 1 did at the end of its cycle, starting off is what I should say, but adds a little bit more, I think it's going to do fine.
It's weird. Yeah, I agree. Like Division 1, for a game that they clearly wanted to be like a long-running game, it's weird how it didn't feel like it was built to have all this new content added onto it. Like they added like small things, a mission or like. So I'm hoping with Division 2 they've built it so that they can really add onto it. I mean, the map, in my opinion, should not always be static. Like it should change, especially in the Dark Zone, right? Like you have the points on the map. I mean, it doesn't make sense for if this place is in conflict for those conflict points to change, for example, right? So like the what are they called? Landmarks. Yeah, same enemies always in the same spot. So I hope it's a little bit more dynamic. I didn't do much Dark Zone. I did a lot of PvP in the beta. I didn't do any Dark Zone. I went in once. I think I commented to you guys like, "This is great," and I got killed. So
the sky is beautiful today.
Yeah, I was like, man, everybody's just getting along. Like I saw a couple.
Wow,
guys
it's pretty great.
That's exactly what he said to us. He's like, I'm in the Dark Zone. He's like, wow. He's like, everybody's just hanging out.
Super friendly.
Well, then the next thing we know, he's like, damn it. He's like, I'm dead.
No, they're back. Yeah, so it was. Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, that's the Dark Zone. That's what happens. But it was fun. I think and that comes out in like 2 weeks. So 15th, right?
Yeah. Not this Friday, but the following. So
I think for the game we mentioned previously, that's the bigger problem than its own issues. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is that there's
the fact that Division 2 is coming out.
If Division 2 can launch smoothly. It doesn't have. I showed you guys that article today on Kotaku saying Anthem is bricking some PS4s reportedly, if they can avoid frying people's consoles, they may have a chance of taking some of Anthem's customer base.
Yeah. Well, I think I did want to say I had some more connection issues with the open beta than I did the closed beta, but it was also probably because there was more people trying it.
On which division?
On Division 2, yeah. I would just be in a instance or in a quote unquote story mission, and all of a sudden I would get dropped, and so it was really weird. I haven't had that issue before. They fixed my one issue where I was like falling into trucks. Like there's one capture point where there's like barriers on top of a minivan, and so I get on top. During the closed beta and this one, I got on top of the minivan to like take out the enemies that are on the corner, on their little like whatever. And what happened was I fell through the top of the van into the van and couldn't get out. I had to quit and restart the game. It happened again.
You're just stuck living in a van down by the river.
You're living in a van down by the river.
That was a huge problem in Division 1 where people could purposely go into the environment when they're in the Dark Zone.
So, and then like in the open beta, like I fell into the van and then just had to move like a little bit left or right. And all of a sudden I popped on the outside of it. So I was like, at least they knew that was there. But then I also had issues where like walls were just clear. Like you're like climbing up a ladder and there's no wall there and you can see like the world behind. I took some screenshots of it. I'll have to send it to y'all, but it was pretty hilarious. Like just the walls just not being there at all.
Sometimes the bugs, and as long as it doesn't break your game, the bugs and janky stuff you come up against sometimes is pretty funny.
Dark Souls multiplayer is great for some janky bugs.
Yeah.
Like I remember you, Ahmed, and I playing that, and then we would kill somebody, and then all of a sudden that enemy would just be hanging from the ceiling, just twitching for no reason.
Yeah.
Dark Souls 1, I remember I saw that video. That game, in my opinion, has one of the best trolling moments in the history of multiplayer games. That one where the guy invaded the guy's game, so he pretended to be a statue.
Yeah, and just hung out.
Yeah, stood there for forever while the guys running around looking for him.
Guys running around like looking for him.
Yeah, that's a spell. It's chameleon. Yeah, it's great.
It's the best.
Just the way he did the video was so good. Oh, it was brilliant.
Well, I remember. I think for a long time you couldn't tell if that they added a chime to that particular spell. Mm-hmm. That way you could tell if it's been used. So you have to just go look for stuff that's out of place.
Oh, okay.
See, that's dumb. They should have just left it where you actually have to look for the person. But
well, yeah, but then there becomes pros and cons, because then if you have an invader that you can't progress until that invader is gone. So if you've chameleoned yourself to where you could just sneak your way to where you need to go, you can't just leave. You still have to fight the guy, and so if you're just sitting there.
So Dark Souls does not have auto kick somebody if you go into a boss fight.
No, well, if you're going into a boss fight, yes, but Dark Souls 1 would wall off certain areas where the fog gate you're going to isn't a boss, and it wouldn't let you leave.
Right.
So full disclosure, Moose and Keel pay me $5 every time I mention Dark Souls.
Moose maybe, but I don't.
So question about that. I mean, I have no interest in the Division. To me, the aesthetic, it's kind of boring. The weapons don't feel that interesting compared to other shooters. Is it really going to steal from the people that want Anthem, that want to play as Iron Man? Because to me, it seems like, or is it just, does people just go and play, they want to play online together?
When people can't even play Anthem, if you take a look at the Anthem boards, it is just because before it was just because PC gets a week early on EA Premier. So it was just us complaining about the connection issues. And then once it launched on all the platforms, the page just exploded. There's a error 445 pilot error. And EA has said, yeah, we know it exists, no fix. So there's a lot of people having connection issues for Anthem. It has not sold very well at all.
Well, we know hasn't sold physically well. They haven't talked about digital yet, because physical online games, typically digital is significantly higher than a Nintendo game or something like that.
We're in the era of when there's a good number to brag about, they hop on Twitter immediately to brag about it, right? So if there had been a huge number of people playing it, you'd see, thanks to 5 million people playing.
Currently playing Anthem at the same time.
I get that. I'm just thinking, if you're not really interested in the environment of the Division, if you weren't a Division 1 fan, I don't think if you're one fan, like myself, I play Division. I just felt it was kind of like, okay.
Well, you'll just stick to Anthem, but
I haven't even played much of Anthem. But my son, I showed him a Division. He's like, Dad, that looks kind of boring. The aesthetic is kind of, to me. I just think from an aesthetic standpoint, doing Anthem looks completely different. It's doing completely different things versus Division feels like it's more of the same Division with some tweaks. So I don't know if it's going to be that much bigger, or it's going to pull people away that are not necessarily interested in the Division's kind of aesthetic.
Well, it's already. Well, I think what it's going to do is it does shooting better. I've played Anthem, and the shooting in Division is way better. I personally like the modern shooter type thing, not like the futuristic. I get the Iron Man. You want to play as Iron Man, that's cool and all. Like, flying's fun, personally for me, for like 2 seconds. So I was like, all right. Like, I played more load screens than I did the game.
The load screens are
terrible. I don't want to do this
game. They're terrible. So is the tether system, and Division doesn't have that. Like, that tether system is terrible. Right.
And so with the Division, I feel like there's gonna be so many more people. The reason it's gonna take more gamers away is because I feel, Todd, you're like on the other end of the spectrum where you're like, I don't really feel like I don't want to play Division, but there's a lot of people in the middle and a lot of people in the end that do want to play it. And I think it's just going to be a lot of people are going to jump ship off of Anthem. They're only going to play Anthem until the Division comes out. And then once the Division comes out, I have a feeling they'll never go back. Because like I was going to load up Anthem for a second time, and I'm like, I don't want to play load screens. And so I just went right down.
What if, okay, so I'll be devil's advocate. What if they get rid of the load screens? They make all these changes. Is the gameplay more compelling in Anthem versus Division, which quite honestly, they probably, I mean, I'm just trying to play devil's advocate, because when I see Division, it looks like more of the same Division.
Because it's not just like getting into the game. It's like, every time you get into your javelin, every time you go into the forge, every time you go into the open world, every time you find a cave, like they would
throw out a caveat. Maybe they change all that. The little things that we know are kind of common themes. What if they change all that? They say we get rid of all the nonsense, the stuff that kind of takes away from the fun. What if they say we remove all that, we fix it?
I would change the game.
I mean, if they could have the world streaming in, as they clearly apparently wanted to, they likely would. I do not think they're going to get that game running in the state that they want on current gen hardware. I know they've talked and said that it is going to be your game will carry across to next gen. So when next gen launches, possibly, but they're not going to fix all the loading screens in Anthem just like that. You know what I mean? I wish they would. Don't get me wrong, because they're bad. I'm playing on I have it installed on an SSD, and no matter what you play on, they're bad. Like they're egregious, and like it just takes away. I don't even want to explore because there's going to be.
That's why I've been holding off playing, because I've heard so much about it. I'm like, I don't want to play a game that just doesn't want me to play it, and that's why I'm playing devil's advocate, because I want to play it really bad, but why would I wait if I know it's going to get better eventually? I'll just play when it's better, and that's going to be a big problem.
Do you have the EA service on PC or no?
No, I got it on PS4 because I pre-ordered it. I got a good deal. My son's been playing. But my son has been loving it, despite all the bugs and everything. He's loving it. I
love playing it. The way it plays, I love it. And that's what I was saying earlier. It's frustrating to have all these annoyances that take away from your enjoyment of it because I like it. I mean, if I hated playing it, I wouldn't care, but I do, right? And so, it's frustrating. But if you have not played it yet, I would not recommend starting it now because it's just going to create a bad first impression. I mean, if you held off this far, I get that it's only been a couple weeks. If you've held off this far, why not hold off a couple months? Because it's going to be way better when you do jump in, and you're going to have a much better experience with it, in my opinion. If they continue to patch it and add content, you may as well, right? I mean, obviously they wanted this game in this fiscal quarter, so here it is, it's out, right? But I personally would not recommend jumping in now because I don't think it's worth the $60 right now. I don't think there's enough, but hopefully Division 2 rectifies or addresses that, because Division 1, that was a problem with Division 1 as well, is that when it launched and you got to end game, okay, what do I do now? If you didn't like Dark Zone, you were kind of screwed.
Yeah.
Right. So, for those people, I to be honest, I have not followed Division 2's content all that much, so I don't know what's in the end game for it for PvE. If you do not like PvP,
no raids.
But are there raids in it? Multiple?
Well, I don't know. There's going to be one.
They're gonna there's supposedly supposed to be 3 by the end of year 1.
Is this Anthem or Division?
Division. And they're free or no?
Yeah, everything in year 1 is free
for Division and Anthem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Although there's a $120 version of the Division 2, so I don't know what you're getting.
So. Yeah, no, I looked at it. I'm like, what are you?
I feel like that's just Ubisoft doing stuff. I mean,
it's more hoodies. Hoodies and backpacks.
Better be getting a sweet puffy jacket.
There's a $9,000 edition of Devil May Cry 5. There's multiple editions of that game that are multiple thousands of dollars because you want the leather dusters or whatever.
Remember that zombie game that came with an island or something? Like it was like $250,000.
Yeah. Dead Island. Yeah, just whatever.
See, Ubisoft, and so I was playing Division on Uplay. So on Uplay you get those gold coins. So I look and it says redeem a certain amount for 20% off any game. So it's like, cool, I have more than enough for that. So I go, does not include pre-orders. So I'm not going to pre-order your game then. I'll wait till day 1 and redeem these coins and get 20% off. Just let me pre-order it. Why offer that at all? And
including new games in the first 180 days.
It's just so frustrating.
Yeah.
Like, freaking,
you got to do a discount, or you don't get to be part of the conversation. Yeah.
What's up, nerds? It's Corey, and I'm pleased to announce we're giving away 2 codes for Sekiro Shadows Die Twice for PlayStation 4. One for our YouTube subscribers and one for our audio listeners. The rules are simple. For YouTube, all you have to do is subscribe to our channel, screenshot your subscription, and send it to ngrradiopodcast@gmail.com along with your name, PSN ID, and why you're a fan. For our audio listeners, we'd like you to go to whatever podcast service you listen to us on, preferably iTunes, but anything works. Rate us, comment on your rating and why you're a fan, then screenshot your review and rating, and email us at ngrradiopodcast@gmail.com. This contest is for new and existing fans, so get your entries in now. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice is out March 22nd, so the winner will be announced on March 18th's live episode. Join us on youtube.com/ngrradio at 8:45 p.m. Eastern Time if you want to find out who won or check the following week's podcast. Thank you so much for your support. Now on with the show.